I'm not going to discuss my political views today. This will only be a brief discussion about something I think is a bit more important. I want to examine some of the emotion we are tempted by in today's day and age. People are mad about politics, and they are madder than ever. This is an intoxicating time. There are lots of volatile issues, and it should be obvious that arguing is getting us absolutely nowhere. You know it, I know it. Everyone knows how painful it is to live in perpetual disagreement with one another, resenting up to half the population for their political views. You guys, it's getting old. Living this way is miserable, and worse, it's ignorant. I'll try to explain, but let's dig in and really examine this emotion. The emotion is righteous anger. Righteous anger. In this case, politically inspired frustration and rage. But what else is it? It's continuous, misery-inducing judgment of those we disagree with. Misery-inducing judgment. Okay, that's been established. Now let's think about how it feels to be angry and judgmental toward those of different political inclination. It feels intoxicating, exhausting above all else, disorienting, surreal, righteous, entertaining, addicting, devious, and evil. Let's be honest with ourselves. After more than a decade of increasing political tension, it feels all those ways at least a little bit. For those wondering, yes, I do have political opinions, but the political discussion is insignificant by comparison to the larger issues, such as the restoration of truth and dignity. I believe we must powerfully implement courage, truth, and dignity into our collective routine, one by one as individuals. Politics are divisive and heartbreaking. They can only demand so much of our attention before we must focus on something more substantial, such as individual character. If I can't change me, I can't change the world. So if my character and my behavior is all that I can affect, my political concerns or worries become less important. Forgiveness is important. Forgiveness is the currency with which we purchase our sanity, and there is no time to waste. From now on, going forward, I challenge you to examine this emotion of political anger. Look at it. I would not look at it when I was angry. I was trapped by self-righteousness, meaning that somehow my anger felt important. It felt useful. It felt like my anger was something I needed to fix the world. But nothing could be further from the truth, you guys. We do not fix the world with anger. We do need courage. We do need precision and determination. We certainly need honesty, but think about it. When two people are yelling at each other, the instinct becomes only to yell louder. What sense does that make? That is an error within human nature itself. We can choose to overcome that tendency. You know that it's an option to develop that strength of character. Perhaps you've been longing your whole life to become collected, self-assured, forgiving, and dignified in your interaction with those around you. I know that's what I wanted deep down. I wanted to be respected for my opinions. It turns out that all I really needed then was respectable opinions. So maybe this brings us to a turning point. Recognize that you do have a choice in this. As human beings, we have the power to choose, so we can pick a day and time, right now for example, to identify as the bottom of the pit, where we distinctly say, no more. I will diligently work to reverse these habits. I will actively root out these angry tendencies in myself. When I am wrong, I will admit it, and I will reverse my anger at all costs. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I try to recognize patient, emotionally sober people so I can learn from them. Pay attention to those who have what you want. We all want to be delivered from the pain of our anger if we are honest with ourselves. It's also possible that we're in denial about the severity of our anger, or perhaps we have a deep desire to hold on to it despite knowing better. When letting go of my anger, I was afraid. I was afraid that it wouldn't leave me. The truth is that, in my case, I didn't see any progress until I consulted the God of my understanding. I needed to demonstrate humility, which makes sense because I had been humbled by my pain and the pit I found myself in. Understand that this is a choice we are making, to feed our anger or to heal from it. The alternative is sad, tragic, and heartbreaking. Let's make a decision together to let it go, you guys. Lastly, I would like to make a humble request. Please, do not underestimate the impact of your decision whether or not to forgive. Others will learn from your example. If you cannot forgive others for your own sake, do it for theirs. And if you cannot forgive others for their own sake, do it for yours. But if you cannot forgive for anyone's sake, then you have chosen your pain, and perhaps then it is deserved. You guys, let's let it go. We can be free.